Hello everybody and welcome to a new series I'm starting, or I guess, but it's called a fan's review of, and that means I'm basically gonna take a game or maybe a movie at some point, I don't know, and I'm gonna review it from my perspective as a fan of the series. So you can expect it to be a bit biased towards something because I mean I'm a biased person. So for instance, today we're doing Far Cry 5, alright, and I love Far Cry, so I love the series, so I might be a bit biased towards it. So this is a review of someone who loves the Far Cry series and is okay with the gameplay and is okay with all that. So basically it's saying that if you like the other games, you will probably like this one, in this case, Far Cry. So let's begin. Alright, before we begin, I just want to get out of the way. I do all this pretty much completely unscripted. I write a little thing beforehand, then I go off that. So, yeah, okay. So Far Cry 5 is a game I was really looking forward to. I pre-ordered it. I've loved the previous Far Cries, but I was scared for this one because it was in Montana. It's in Montana now. But I know now that I shouldn't be worried because Montana is freaking amazing. I could just sail around all of the lakes and rivers and I would be completely content. The world is beautiful. The wildlife is amazing. The world itself feels very alive with all the activities sort of thing that go on. I'll get more into that later. Montana though, it's a great place. Like the different towns, the different, regions, all that, it's all wonderful. So that is not a worry to me. Now, one of the most important things for me in a video game is the story. I love a good story in a video game. Far Cry 5, the story in this one, it's a bit complicated. I think the story itself it's fine. It's alright. But what I do love about this game is the characters, which make the story good, fun to play through, because you love them enough so that you're like, yeah, I'll do that. But the story itself doesn't have too many iconic moments. The villains I think are great. If I was to pick a least favorite, it'd probably be Jacob. But Faith is awesome. Faith is one of my favorite characters in the game. John served his purpose very well, and Joseph Seed is terrifying. And one thing I did really not expect from this game is how terrified I was. When I went into Far Cry, I thought it'd just be fun, chaotic, insanity. But I actually was very scared throughout it. I thought it was a creepy game, which is not something I expected, but I should have, because cult stuff really bothers me. But I found it genuinely scary at times. I got freaked out. Plus, the score of this game, it's beautiful. It's one of the best scores in a game I've ever heard. It has that certain haunting feeling, but also peaceful, like a cult. You don't... Oh, it's just amazing. If you haven't listened to it, you really should go listen to it. It really gets you in the mood for the game. Plus, the radio in-game, it's creepy. It has all this religion music and, oh my god. It's great. It's really, really atmospheric. And, it really is one of the highlights of the game to me, is listening to that score and, having that weird feeling in your chest that you're I don't know how to feel about this. What? But yeah, that's great. But everyone knows why Far Cry is at tip of the spear when it comes to most things, and that's the gameplay. The gameplay is just as good as it's ever been. But that being said, if you're looking for a lot more new things out of Far Cry, you're not gonna find too much. The specialists are cool, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I guess. That's how I look at things. I don't really get bothered by them not changing the gameplay much, as long as the setting and a bunch of other stuff is changed. The gameplay can stay the same. I like familiarity personally. I know not everyone does, but I do. So I found the gameplay very fun and very and just as good as normal. If there was anything to complain about, maybe the explosives. They're a bit like, they take you down a bit, but like as far as running, gunning, shooting, all that, it's all good. Like the driving is better. I'm pretty sure it used to be just like you drive using the left stick on. I use a PlayStation controller, but you drive using the left stick. Now it drives more like a GTA game where you have R2 and L2. I don't know if that's 100% true. I haven't played a Far Cry game in a while, but driving is good. It's all good. Plus the planes and helicopters, they're really fun, and I really just love exploring in the game. As I said about Montana, the world is amazing. But yeah, but that's as far as that goes. But main missions in the game, they're a bit different. It's, if you ever played Mafia 3, it's a lot like that. Like there are underbosses, and you need to take them down first, and you do that by like making them angry, or you know, doing like things that hurt their business, sort of thing, which I thought was a really nice change of pace. I do like the formulaic like mission structure of previous Far Cry's, but not everything can stay the same, and I'm happy they went with this over something else, because I still had a blast with the story. It was a great experience, and yeah, but a part where this game really shines for me is the side content. The side missions themselves. The story, like the main story, is actually kind of dark for a Far Cry game. Like, it hits some pretty heavy moments, and that would kind of bum me out if it wasn't for the side content in this game. The side content is so fun. You find so many funny characters and so many like funny ideas throughout the game that like you're like, oh wow, that's the thing. A lot of it is a play on American culture too, which I thought was really funny. Like there's a lot of Trump jokes and a lot of like just dumb American jokes, which I thought was great because I'm an American. So plus the races are really fun. Like the random events in like the different towns are really fun. You know, all that really good side content, and it's gonna make me want to 100% this game. Alright, moving on to freaking my least favorite part about this game. No spoilers, but the ending I did not like. If people do like it, I can definitely see why they do. Personally, I don't. Minor spoiler, sort of. It's not really, but like, I prefer a game with a happy ending, and like it gives you a choice. So I prefer one with a happy ending, because I don't know, I guess I'm just a boring person, but I didn't exactly get that in this game. But if you're okay with that, I can completely see why. It's just not my type of ending per se, but that does not matter, because overall the campaign, the solo campaign, I had a blast while playing. I straight up spent like 24 hours on it in like the opening week, which is crazy for me. But I couldn't stop playing it. It reminded me of playing Far Cry 4 with my friends back in like whatever that was, 2015 or whatever. I don't know, I didn't look it up. Maybe it was 2014. Who cares? But the co-op in this game, I got to try out co-op a bit with Jared and I think Colin a little bit. We got to go run around and do missions. I already completed the game, but I helped them get further in the story. So we got to doing that, and it was a blast. We had so much fun. It's about as good as Far Cry 4, except you can play the whole campaign the same. You can play the whole campaign through, besides like the first hour, which is a tutorial section, which you're actually watching right now. But besides that, it's great. I mean, it's just like every other Far Cry game, really. Like, and that's not a negative, because I love Far Cry, and if you love Far Cry, then you'll love it too. But one thing that surprised me so much about this game that I ended up really liking is the arcade mode. Me, Jared, and Colin, we went and we played some Far Cry Arcade last night, and we had a blast. We kept playing on this map called Poop Town, And dude, I'm really good at it. Like I came in first. Like also, if you like crafting in the other games, it's not here. They replaced it with a perk system instead. But yeah. So if you're probably gonna miss that if you know. Anywho. So I hope you guys like this style of video. If you guys do and want me to do more, leave suggestions of what I should talk about below. I will happily do that. But yeah, that's really all there is to it. I'll see you all later. You guys have a great day. Alright, see you.